Hi, Christine Faulkner, Elk Grove and Sacramento Living Trust lawyer with Cava&Faulkner. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Daily with Christine. I'm continuing my series on COVID-19 and travel. Well, my series is about a number of different topics. This one happens to be about travel. So what does travel look like for 2021? I don't know about you, but for me, I am itching to travel. We are used to traveling once or twice a year abroad, and not being able to do so in 2020 has been difficult. I have to say, I feel super fortunate to have been on a business trip with my staff in January 2020 to Maui. So we at least got to experience the island vibe at the beginning of January. So I can't say I completely missed out, but I'm definitely already chomping at the bit to get going someplace exciting for 2021. So there's some good news and maybe not some good news, depending on how you look at this, but stay tuned because I'm going to outline a list of how travel might be really different in 2021. So let's get started. Number one of the good things, those $200 airline change fees may be gone for good. American, Delta, United, Alaska Airlines are looking to get more passengers traveling and not charge those exorbitant change fees. They recently extended those policies to international flights, except for the very cheapest basic economy. So more likely than not, given the uncertainty of COVID, and a COVID positive test or even demonstrating symptoms, the good news is that we all may have much greater flexibility when it comes to booking travel and then changing our minds, even if we don't have COVID, just because. That remains to be seen whether we'll have to demonstrate some type of true justification, such as medical justification, by submitting a test in order to cancel our reservations. But for now, it looks like things are moving in the right direction. Number two, flexibility is going to be everything. I know in the past, buying travel insurance was one of the ways that people could guarantee flexibility because there was inflexibility with the airlines or cruise ships. And so travel insurance was the way to ensure they had some flexibility built in. As many of you probably have seen, there are many, many offerings out there for bookings into 2021 and 2022 with the ability to cancel for any reason. So we've got lots of flexibility, it looks like now. A group called Intrepid Travelers, which offers small group tours, allows customers to change the departure date and or destination up to 21 days before a trip for no fee. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Points Guy. This website analyzes like the best travel cards. One of the writers or editors of the Points Guy says this is the first time in his lifetime that consumers are in the driver's seat when it comes to travel. So yippee, that's great news. So number three, last minute getaways are going to be all the rage. I think we've probably already seen that. People just deciding the weekend is free, they're going to hit the road and go someplace, book a hotel or Airbnb and get the heck out of Dodge. This is obviously in response to the unpredictability caused by COVID-19. According to recent trends from the vacation rental site homes2go.com, the average time before check-in between when the pandemic began and the end of September was 50 days, a drop of almost 38% from the average lead time before the pandemic. The more spontaneous wait-and-see approach to travel is likely going to continue. Number four, we may need to have documents that prove that we're COVID-free. So proof that we have a negative test may become a necessity or mandatory for flying. In speaking with a friend and colleague who was recently in Hawaii, we discussed the whole process of traveling to Hawaii, which requires an actual COVID test and proof of negativity, I think within 72 hours before departure. Apparently there are travel corridors. For example, Delta has a COVID-19 testing program between Atlanta and Rome, enabling Americans to test negative for COVID-19 to enter Italy quarantine-free. Obviously, they have to submit proof that they have a negative test. And there's the possibility that these types of corridors are going to pop up, not for global flying, but certain departure and destination locations that will open up, like it's called, a corridor for Americans to travel to specific locations. And then, of course, for example, once Americans arrive in Rome, there may be other more local methods of traveling that will allow us to travel to other countries, depending on whether the borders are open to Americans. We may, number 5, have to carry a digital health passport, something showing that we've been vaccinated or have a negative COVID-19 test. That's an interesting thought from both a privacy perspective and just a technology perspective, kind of like having an ID, but a health stamp of approval. Number 6, cruises will be a lot less carefree. So that may not be such a great thing. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are requiring cruise lines to show they have strict infection prevention measures in place before they can be fully operational. When they do set sail, passengers can expect mandatory pre-travel testing, lots of conspicuous disinfection, and new ventilation systems. Like airlines, cruise lines are considering whether they can require passengers to offer proof of vaccinations. So that remains to be seen. Number 7, will travel the United States. So obviously international travel is going to come back slowly. And so road trips are going to be probably the name of the game because people will still be wary of flying. Perhaps traveling to national parks is going to be at the top of the list, and exploring the vast unknowns within our borders will be on the uptick. The great outdoors, of course, are going to attract crowds because of the need for social distancing and the relative ease of doing that when we're outside. So isn't it great to be able to social distance and maybe not have to wear a mask while we're socializing outside with our family and friends? Activities such as boats, RVs, bikes, camping, etc. are going to be the new normal. And those national park settings are likely going to be pretty crowded this summer. Number 9, high-tech touchless options will expand, which means touchless payment options at hotels and other tourist spots, touchless screening technology at airports, and apparently the TSA is testing biometric scanners at a few airports in the Washington, D.C. area, with the goal of speeding up screening process and limiting the opportunities for viral transmission. Number 10 will be wearing masks through the summer at least. Even as I've said in past videos, after we get vaccinated, we'll have to reach the level of herd immunity before we can avoid wearing masks. So while there's been speculation that people who've been immunized against COVID-19 will start rushing to take vaccinations, hang out with people who have basically had the vaccine as well. Taking the safety measures that we talked about when the pandemic broke out is going to be very important to continue protecting both yourself and your family. unfortunately, those same pesky social distancing, mask wearing, and hand washing tips. So those are the 10 travel predictions for what 2021 is going to look like. Subscribe to our channel if you like our content. Like our videos and let us know what we can review and explore with you next. Thanks for tuning in for the Daily with Christine, and we'll see you next time.